Hi guys, Michael.
Hi, Brown.
Hi.
Pleasure. Steal one of these waters here.
Please do.
Is this yours?
Nice.
All right, so tell me about the idea. Where to come from?
Can I take that?
Whose idea? How did it develop?
So, I'm a practitioner of traditional Chinese medicine.
Right.
I have a master's in science in it. So during my education, it's a 4-year process, I was working in the clinic.
Okay.
And right then, very early, I learned that the use of acupuncture, in my eyes,
You might have brought the biggest audience so far, by the way. Sorry.
in my opinion, and a lot of acupuncturists disagree, I was fully convinced that herbs were the most powerful part of traditional
Right.
Chinese medicine because I saw them work in the clinic. The problem was the practitioners would go, the interns and so forth, would go see a patient and they would run to an experienced, older, usually Asian, clinic supervisor and go, write me a formula. And then, because they couldn't do it themselves.
Right.
Herbal medicine is very complicated. Now, after 4 years of studying it, I learned that I knew almost everything about it. There was a couple key ingredients missing. The last couple steps in fully making the prescription. We were 90% there. We knew all the herbs, we knew all the formulas, we knew what they treated. We just couldn't get it on paper because we couldn't do the dosages, and then we couldn't finalize the formula because we were worried about drug-herb interactions. Is this going to kill a patient? If I give you too much of this, it's going to hurt you.
Right.
So the dosage was a major part. So what I did is I called up David, who's a good friend of mine, and said, you know, this problem could really easily be solved because all you need is an app that will streamline this and give the practitioners the confidence to write those formulas themselves.
Yeah, so we sat down and developed the relationship between the herbs, how to get suggested dosages. On the
You learned
back end,
Chinese medicine,
I basically
basically.
learned Chinese medicine. Yeah. So we just sat down, came up with how the front end's going to look, how they're going to go through that whole process. What exactly, Ramtin already knew exactly what, coming from that side, what a practitioner needs, all the tools he's going to need to make a decision. Nobody else is doing what we're doing. We have the different forms of raw and granular. You can switch between the two, and it does all the conversion for you. When we sat there and give it to practitioners to do, it takes them 30 minutes at times, up to 30 minutes, to actually do these conversions by thing.
Let me elaborate on that for 1 second.
Sure.
The process of converting from raw to granular is very complex. It's like chemistry because you're looking at the total dosage of a formula from one form to another, going from like liquid to solid or so forth.
Right.
So it's a hard mathematical equation. People in that industry are not math people. They don't like math. And every time you change one factor, so let's say one formula's got 8 herbs, you add 1 herb, all the ratios change. And that's the beauty of Chinese medicine is because it's customized medicine.
Okay.
I write a full formula for you. 8 grams of this, 10 grams of that, 9 grams of so-and-so. You give me feedback, and then I decide to change the dosage of this, add an herb, remove an herb. Mathematically, it was a nightmare. And that's why people weren't prescribing these herbs. I've been trying to crack that code for a long time. It was that last piece. I thought it was a really easy mathematical problem, but it's taken 2 years.
Once you explained it to me, I was like, wait.
Yeah, there's a whole nother logic behind it, also the Chinese side.
So basically the first year was going through those books, figuring out the relationship between the diseases and the dosages and the herbs, getting all that on there, the modifications, and all of that, and doing the conversions, and testing it as a prototype on our customers.
Gotcha. So help educate me on this market that you're trying to address. I mean, who really is the customer? Who are you selling to? How do you sell to them? How do you market to them? How do you sell? Give me an idea of what the sales cycle looks like, how much you charge for the product.
Very good. So fortunately, we have a year and a half now with a pharmacy and a clinic combined, testing the market. So it's been in beta for a year and a half. So we have a lot of feedback. So there are 27,000 practitioners in the United States.
Okay.
Our business has 2 phases. Phase 1 is selling to the practitioners. Phase 2, selling to the consumers, which is the big one. Initially, there's 27,000 practitioners, and based on our market research in the last year and a half, they order 3 prescriptions per week. Average prescription costs $23. So we had to do the math backwards. That translates to at about 1.8% market share, we're looking at 1.7 million in revenues. At 25% market share, we're looking at 26 million in revenues. And that's not including all the supplemental products and services that get bundled with our service. So the way we market them.
Does not include the consumer piece.
No, that's the
Okay.
that's the big prize at the end. So the way we're marketing to acupuncturists right now is we're not. They're actually beating down our doors. Word of mouth in that community it's a very tight-knit community. We're turning down practitioners right now for our services because our software is not quite what we want it to be. We don't want to have a bad first impression. That's what we're going to use these funds for. So marketing, really easy channels. It's mostly through continuing education. These practitioners have to get a certain amount of credits each year for their accreditations.
Okay.
And most of the time they're looking for things to learn. And big seminars. And I've taught one of these. I've taught a 6-hour course. Out of the 79 people there, 60 of them wanted to sign up. We didn't even need to have this big marketing strategy, which we will have, but it doesn't look too hard of a sell to practitioners.
So educate me a little more, like what is the sales cycle? How much do you sell the product for?
So our profit margins and so forth?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
so
give me a rundown on the financial and the business model.
very good. What we're looking at is we are providing profit margins enough for practitioners to mark it up so they can make money. So we're buying herbs at approximately 6 cents per gram. The market, the consumer is willing to pay 35 cents a gram.
Okay.
From that, we're marking it up to 22 cents a gram, leaving a profit margin for the practitioners, and that's how they're going to make money from this. We've introduced a way for them to be profitable for their service. That was
Almost like they're a partner of ours.
So the software just comes included, is that what I'm hearing?
Yes, yes.
Free.
Free software.
Okay,
because you're buying the herbs from us.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Mainly a way to sell our product.
And so what is the product delivered through? What channels? Is it just a web-based tool? Is it a mobile tool?
Well, go ahead.
Yeah, we have a web-based right now. We're building an app right now.
Mhm.
We have open APIs, so we can be able to do a really nice, and we have a responsive design right now, so it works on mobile, it works on tablet. We do want to make a native application for mobile right now. Yeah.
So obviously these practitioners are in practice today, so they're doing,
Yeah.
are you displacing away or are you just enhancing? I'm trying to get around like.
Well, they're sitting there.
Providing more of
Yeah.
a painkiller or more of an aspirin?
So they're sitting there with the
Like,
tablet usually, doing their what is it,
Intake.
the intake forms
Yep.
and doing it. And right there is when they're going to start doing the prescription. So we've kind of wanted to mainly do it for a tablet. And right there, we have it integrated, we have a really easy way for them to add their patients to it. So they also have a patient management tool, we've added all that, and then they can just go through, see their notes that they've already entered about the practitioner and the formula, so that they can easily just prescribe another one right there, send them out the door, and it'll be shipped directly to them.
We've taken that process from 55 minutes to under 5 minutes. So whereas it would take a practitioner to go grab books off the shelves, find the disease, maybe they'll find a corresponding formula, and then they grab another book with the ingredients of that formula, another book with the dosages and so forth. We've brought it all into one site, so they can just click away. That 55-minute process is under 5 minutes. So they're making money. If they're doing multiple prescriptions per day, that's an actual solid source of income.
Every time we
for
get
an
a
herbalist.
customer, they just repeat, those practitioners to see the value in it, and they're like, oh, I've been waiting for a tool like this, and they just keep using it over and over.
And we
Why
keep
not?
patient information. The patient
Yeah,
information is
yeah.
online. You can find out, you can get feedback. How did this formula treat them last time?
It's almost
You
a
can make notes.
semi-EMR system for them.
Okay.
in
It's
that
close to an
regard.
EMR.
And that's how we're bundling other services with it.
Gotcha. So is there liabilities associated with what you're putting together?
Yes, so, well, we have the disclaimer forms on there, on the site. So they do, when they sign up, have to go through and say, I understand that, this is not a prescription, not a medical diagnosis tool.
Mhm.
This is just to prescribe herbs. for certain
Recommendations.
conditions.
These are recommendations.
Like suggested doses, suggested recommendation to them.
These are suggested recommendations. The standard disclaimer, this is not used to treat disease and diagnose and so
Right.
forth. So we put the standard disclaimers in there. The good thing is we were just discussing a second ago, same question, was the herbs are considered food in the U.S. market. So I don't even have to pay taxes on it. I just found out we're doing our first year doing taxes for sales tax.
All right.
So they're considered food grade. And one thing that we've done to limit outside of the legal work is the major concern practitioners had was certain herbs interact with drugs. So let's say you're taking warfarin or Coumadin as a blood thinner.
Okay.
You take Futsa, you take too much of that, and you're done. So in our program, one of the major features is going to be every single time a practitioner enters the patient's drugs, and the herbs that have possible interactions will highlight and bring it to their
Alerts
attention.
that come
Yeah.
up.
So tell me one of the most important parts of an angel investor looking at somebody's side of the team. So why you guys?
So
And do you have advisory board as well?
we do.
So we start with you guys.
Yeah, well, we're
And-
uniquely here because Rumpton he has his business degree. He's been an entrepreneur before. He went back to school, got his degree in Chinese medicine, and he's been studying this market. He now opened a clinic, and he's been testing
I
it for the
bankrolled
last
the initial.
year and a half.
That's now over 110,000.
It's all self.
We're out of funds.
I've spent the last year or two just building, I'm a software developer for over 10 years, so I've been building the website, the database.
Okay.
Just to even learn more, I went back to school right now, and I'm doing the master's science in a healthcare informatics program here that just opened up, just to get even learn more about EMRs and the health side of things. Because if we do take it to hospitals and other markets
Which
like that.
it is headed that way.
So I think we're getting started on time. So tell me about your advisory board.
We do have
Tommy Stevenson.
Tommy Stevenson.
Tommy Stevenson is the CTO of Weedmaps, one of the most successful companies right now. And Tommy Stevenson is an advisor, Dr. J, who is a head herbalist at the Pacific College of Oriental Medicine,
Okay.
where we're going to get a lot of information about diagnosis and so forth. And then we have a legal board. She's sitting right there.
Okay.
And my sister owns a law firm, so we are very fortunate to have a legal team.
Very good. And so who's the first person you'd hire?
Can I answer that?
Just go ahead. It's all you.
Outside of the IT side, we need a sales team. So,
Good answer.
yeah.
Good. Are we out of time?
Yeah, they're waiting for you.
All right, great. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for.
Thank you.